When did the program start here in Utica?
All right, the residential stabilization program, it started in 2005.
Okay.
And it started basically with a division of parole.
Okay.
And because some of the men have alcohol and drug addictions, and that was their offense why they were incarcerated. When they were released, they recommend that they get into a treatment program. So they would basically, because most of them were homeless, they came down to the rescue mission. So we have 2 beds in our emergency shelter designated for the RSP folks, and then 3 in our Parker House aftercare program. So basically, their offense, could be DUI, DWI, driving without a license, many circumstances. Because there's a possibility that, I guess there's about 50% of them, there's a possibility they could get in trouble and go back into the prison system. Yeah, so to keep them from going there, that's why they would recommend them coming to the rescue mission.
So they're pretty much then limited to parolees, or pretty much their offenses are pretty much limited to drug and alcohol problems, nothing violent?
Nothing violent.
So there's no violent offenders, sex offenders?
We do not. No, we do not take any. They're all screened by Division of Parole. Okay. to amongst our guidelines. We take no sex offenders. We take no arsonists or no violent criminals. So they're basically very kind of, minimal offenses, mm-hmm. And because we are a drug and alcohol treatment center, it's definitely makes a good referral source. Sure. And they're homeless, and so we can transition them into. It's a 90-day program. So basically it's a time to reestablish it, to stabilize them, and then get them reestablished in the community. Some of them could be not from this area, and because they're incarcerated in Oneida County, they get released in Oneida County. So if they have no support system to go to, and they have nowhere to go, they can come to the rescue mission.
So somebody in Buffalo, mm-hmm. could be arrested and serving their time in Oneida County, and then instead of them going back to Buffalo, they'll come here.
They get released, and I believe that's the way the law is. If they have no family or support system, then they have nowhere to go. So that's why some people end up here at the rescue mission. So they can stay here, and our staff works with them, helping them to, if they need to be in a treatment program, they can transition into our Parker House aftercare program, which is a 6 to 9 month rehab program where they would go to day treatment, and then they would follow the guidelines of the program. Go to the computer learning center, get into job readiness, get some GED if they need that. Just kind of, offer whatever we can to them. We are a faith-based organization, so there is a spiritual emphasis. So, and they all know that, and sure. When they come here, and that is kind of attracting to them, coming to the program.
So they really embrace it, or?
Yeah, we've had 68% success rate with the men that have come to this program since that time.
And so that means that they haven't relapsed?
Right, they have not relapsed. They've entered right back into society.
Wow.
They've got jobs, they're in schooling, reunited with families, relocated. Again, they're under the watch of their parolees, so we collaborate with them.
Okay. Now you said that if they're incarcerated in Oneida County, then that's when they come
I believe that's true.
So we don't have people just being sent from like a jail in Buffalo or a prison in Buffalo?
No.
It's just local?
It's within this county, yes.
Okay, it's within Oneida County.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any plans to expand the program to more than 5 beds?
No.
Now, so this is contracted through the Division of Parole?
Yes.
And how, are you able to say how much you guys receive funding?
I don't know, but I can tell you that these people are the type of people we've served forever.
Right.
You know, since we've been in existence, we've been in this building here since 1974. We've been in existence since 1890. But, you know, we serve people who, with these issues, all our existence. It's just what the Division of Parole provided us with is a funding stream. So we're able to put these guys in a longer-term program. We can give them more attention because we have the resources now to provide the care for them.
So they complete their program, they're here. So then what happens? Do you have any say in what happens after that with them? Where they go, where they stay?
No, I believe it's the Division of Parole. Yes, because they're still under their whatever jurisdiction. Yeah. But now they can graduate from the RSP program and go into the Parker House program, and then that 6 to 9 months they can graduate from that. We have a transitional housing that they can go into, so that there's that continuum of care. So we're not just saying, okay, your 90 days are up, so you're out, you know.
Right.
And it's up to them. But even folks that are in the program, once they graduate, the parole officer works with them, making sure that if they're in an apartment, that it's in a good location, it's not in an area that it's going to be, you know, help them, you know, get them back in trouble and things like that. So basically, we're here to provide the service and help them along the way, but yet they have the final.
Now, I know there's been some controversy about bringing convicts to this area, and then after they complete the program, that they be released into the community in general. And there's a lot of concern that this is kind of driving down the property value around the Rutger Street area. Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
Well, I'm going to get straight to something that is a little, it's touching on Mark's controversial question. There's been complaints, and one person in particular believes that, and others are concerned because there were at one time on the sex offender database registered sex offenders. This was
Years ago.
Yes, living at the address for the program. Was there at one time?
I want to say no, but he was homeless and gave this address as his address.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's why it got on that list. And we've been trying to get that off and off for years and years.
Yeah.
But no, he was not on our premises.
So he was kind of somebody that you were servicing? He would come here, or
no
affiliation?
He would not be here if he was a sex offender.
Now,
we
screen for all
screen
that
everybody.
Stuff?
Absolutely.
We
screen our staff, we screen our volunteers, and our clients.
What's the process for the screening?
I don't know if I have the right answer for that, but I can. I know they call.
Yeah.
I know we have the website that we go to and all of that. I know that.
Okay.
I know there's different levels of screening, and we do all of the levels for the clients. But that's where that issue came from.
Okay.
It was because he was homeless and we were a homeless shelter. He
Right,
gave
so
our
he just gave
address
the
as
address.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause there's a lot of talk about
But that was a long,
I
long
believe it was-
time ago.
It was years ago.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
3 years
too.
ago.
It was like in the early 90s,
Oh, wow,
I believe.
okay.
Oh, I heard that it was in the.
I thought that was, it might, maybe, but, you know,
Yeah.
don't take that for scratch it.
Okay.
But I know, yes, that was,
So that you guys
that
are aware
is,
of that issue?
yes, absolutely, because as soon as we heard it, we checked right into it
Oh, yeah.
with our admissions and everything.
Okay.